What is up, bookworms? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I took a week off for Christmas. I still haven't finished the Witcher number 7 book. The reason for that is this one is a bear to get through. But this video is all about my December book haul. And I got a lot of books for Christmas. 26 books for the month. So let's get started. I'm just going to do the mass market paperbacks, the trade paperbacks, and end with the hardbacks that I got for the month. So the first two are Bentley Little books. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I got into Bentley Little through Stephen King. Stephen King has recommended like 3 or 4 of his books. I haven't read any yet, but I keep buying them. So I got these two off of eBay, and to my surprise, I bought one book because it is on the list of the 50 states 50 scares books. I did a video on that. I think it was New York Times put that article out, and they took a horror story that takes place in every state, and they made a list of the best horror stories that take place in that state. I don't have the list with me, so I do not remember which state this takes place in, and the back of the book does not say. So I don't see that it says. Arizona. So this one's for Arizona, and it's Bentley Little's The Revelation. I'm not sure what this book is about. Just quick synopsis of the back. It says, the local minister vanishes, his church defiled by blasphemous obscenities scrawled in blood. A crazed old woman in her 80s becomes pregnant. Herds of animals are discovered butchered in a field. And one by one, the good folks in town are falling victim to the same unspeakable fate. Now, an itinerant preacher has arrived, spreading a gospel of cataclysmic fury. Darkness is falling on Randall, Arizona. The smell of fear lingers in the air, and stranger things are yet to come. And as a surprise, with that book, I got another Bentley Little book called The Association. And this one, again, I've never read it, but according to the synopsis on the back, this couple has been pre-approved by the association. They get to move into this exclusive gated community, but this community has the right to approve their decor, their landscaping, their friends, and their job. It says that relationship with neighbors should be avoided, and any interference from the outside will not be tolerated. Any attempt to leave will be stopped, and any infraction of the rules could result in severe fines, physical punishment, or death. And it sounds like it's about vampires, because it goes on to talk about any inquiries should be made before dark. You're being watched. I don't know. I've never read it, but it sounds really cool. Next are all Star Wars books. They're by different authors. So the last great Star Wars story told before Disney took over was The New Jedi Order. It was a 19-book series. I want to say it was like the late late 90s, early 2000s when this came out. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's correct. I started reading it and then life got in the way and I got so far behind that I quit reading it. But I'm starting to get it again so I can put it on the channel. These are all considered legends now. They're not canon since Disney took over, but this is how I think Disney should have went instead of the 3 movies that we got. This is how it should have gone. And like I said, all of these are done by different authors. And it's not just science fiction authors. There's fantasy authors that wrote some of these books. And it's an amazing story. I know people who have finished it and they all say the same thing. This is what we should have got instead of how the Skywalker saga ended. So the first book is Vector Prime, and you'll notice it's R.A. Salvatore. He writes fantasy books. And then book 2, it's actually a 2-part. So book 2 and 3 are the same story. This is Dark Tide 1, Onslaught, and that's by Michael Stackpole. And then it finishes with Ruin. And then you have another 2-parter called Agents of Chaos. So the first one, James Luceno's Hero's Trial. And then it ends with part 2, Jedi Eclipse. And then the final book that I have is by Kathy Tyers, Balance Point. And like I said, I started reading this series years ago, and I just never finished it. This first one, just to check, make sure I'm correct on the year. 1999 is when this first came out. And that's 19 books total. I've got 6 so far. So I've got a ways to go on that. Some books that I got as gifts. I've heard a lot about this series. I only have the first 2 because I'd like to have a matching set. The 3rd book doesn't come out in mass market until I think June. I got Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. And this is the Sun Eater trilogy. Or Sun Eater saga. I don't know if it's going to be more than 3 books or not. And then book 2 is Howling Dark. They got really cool covers. Alright, and now for the trade paperbacks. This is another one on the 50/50. This one is for Illinois, Elm Haven, Illinois. It's by Dan Simmons. Again, I've heard of Dan Simmons through Stephen King, but I've never read any of his books. This one is Summer of Night. I have no idea what this one's about. The synopsis on the back says it's the summer of 1960 in the small town of Elm Haven, Illinois. 5 12-year-old boys are forging the powerful bonds that a lifetime of change will not break. From sunset bike rides to shaded hiding places in the woods, the boys' days are marked by all the secrets and silence of the idyllic childhood. But amid the sun-drenched cornfields, their loyalty will be piteously tested when a long, silent bell pearls in the middle of the night. The townfolk know it marks the end of their carefree days. From the depths of the old central school, a hulking fortress tinged with the mahogany scent of coffins and invisible evil is rising. Strange and horrifying events begin to overtake everyday life, spreading terror through the once peaceful town. Determined to exorcise this ancient plague, Mike, Dwayne, Dale, Harlan, and Kevin must wage a war of blood against an arcane abomination who owns the night. Sounds pretty cool. And then this one is also from the 50/50. This one, I believe, is California. It doesn't say here on the back. And this is Alma Katsu's The Hunger. And I heard that it's supposed to be like a new take on the Donner Party. And then I've almost finished all of these, at least getting them. Then I'm going to start reading them. Ian Fleming's Octopussy and the Living Daylights. You can't see it on film, but they're up here. I'm trying to get all the Ian Fleming James Bond books. I was really surprised at how small this is. And this is 2 stories in one. Next is from the 50/50. This one is for Delaware. I don't know why it's on the list because I've seen the movie and I didn't think there was any horror elements at all. But it's Chuck Palahniuk, I think is how you say his name. Fight Club. And then the next one is also from the 50/50 list. This one is for, I think it's Alabama. Arkansas. It's for Arkansas. Southern Gods by John Horner Jacobs. This one is about a Memphis DJ who plays this this blues song, and everybody like loves this song. And the bluesman sold his soul to the devil, and you follow this trail through backwoods Arkansas where you really start to learn the horrors of what this musician went through, and the song and the consequences of selling your soul to the devil. It really sounds like kind of a new take on the Robert Johnson, I don't know if you call it a story, but kind of legend surrounding him. The next one I've heard nothing but good things about. The Forgetting Moon, The 5 Warrior Angels by Brian Lee Dufresne. If you don't follow his channel, check out his channel. I have no idea what this book is about. I've just heard really good things about it. That it is just like epic fantasy. It's often compared to some of the great fantasy authors and stories that are out there. Next has been on my TBR list for a long time because I saw the movie, but I've never read the book. Andy Weir's The Martian. And then I forget which booktuber told me about this author. One of their videos I watched highly recommends this author, and he's written a bunch of different historical fiction. Eric Larson, The Devil in the White City. This is about the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago, and a serial killer who used the World's Fair to lure his victims. Then this next one, I believe the first I heard about this was on, I cannot think of the channel. It was another booktuber's channel. It's Pride by Ibi Zoboy. I think that's how you say her name. And this is a new take on the classic Pride and Prejudice. It's by African American author, and she has done like a complete remix of this classic book, and from everything I've heard about it, it is phenomenal. This one has been on just about every booktuber I follow's channel. I still have no idea what this book is about. All I know is everybody that reads this book, they cry uncontrollably, and every video I've seen just talks about it is about 4 college classmates and their lifetime of friendship, and that's about as far as it goes. It's by Hanya Yanagihara and A Little Life. So I guess I should plan on not being able to explain the story to you. I don't know if it's because it ruins the story or what, and crying uncontrollably. Next is book 1 of the Red Rising trilogy, and that's Red Rising. All I know about this is it takes place on Mars. There's a class system, and the Red class, I believe, is the lowest class, and they plan to overthrow the upper class. This one I've never heard of. I got as a gift for Christmas. I've heard of the author, Sebastian de Castile, and it's Spellslinger. Evidently there is a bunch more of these to get. I don't know how many. The back doesn't say. I don't even know what it's about. But I got it as a gift, so I don't turn down books. The next one might be kind of a surprise, but I do love Japanese comics, cartoons, manga, and that is Attack on Titan, Book 8. They are way out of frame over there. I'm trying to get them all. I think there's like 33, and I've got 8. Alright, so 3 books to go, and they are the only hardbacks I got this month. I am a huge fan of Rachel Maddow. I don't care what your political views are, like her or hate her, keep rude comments to yourself. That's not what this channel is about. This is an amazing book. I know 2 people that have read it, and it tells an amazing story in American history, and that is Bagman. The actual title is Bagman, The Wild Crimes, Audacious Cover-Up, and Spectacular Downfall of the Brazen Crook in the White House. This takes place during the Nixon administration. And there was a lot of research that went into this book. There's a podcast based on it. I love American history. Love Rachel Maddow's show. I got that for Christmas. This next one has an amazing cover. It's a collection of H.P. Lovecraft and some other sci-fi, fantasy authors. It's called Dark Fantasy Lovecraft Short Stories, and it's got a beautiful, green, metallic cover. This one has a lot of Lovecraft's popular works, like the Dunwich Horror, The Color Out of Space, the Cthulhu mythology, and like I said, it's got stories from other authors as well. I got that as a Christmas gift, and it is just an amazing cover. And then lastly, I got the Barnes & Noble Collector's Edition. If you've seen my other book hauls, you know how much I love these Barnes & Noble hardback, leather-bound Collector's Editions. I got this from my wife for Christmas. It is Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. This has Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned, all in one book. In my opinion, it is the only novels you should read in the Vampire Chronicles. After these three, they kind of go to shit. This is just like all other Barnes & Noble's collector's editions. You've got the colored leaf pages, beautiful inlays, hardback leather. You get the little ribbon bookmark. Extremely well done. Like I said before, these are like $25, and it feels like you're getting a book that is worth much more than that. So that is it for December's book haul. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books. Are there some on here that are on your to be read list? If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when my next video is coming out. This new year, I've got some new goals for the channel. We're going to start probably next Monday. I'll put out a video on goals for this year, a little channel update. Usually I do that with the book reviews, or not the book reviews, the book hauls. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it all into one video next week on my goals for the channel for this year. I'm going to keep track of those goals, and then in December we'll look back and see if I met any of them. I'll talk about how many books I would like to read this year. I'm going to start doing these once a month. Kind of hold me accountable, get this channel going, get some subscribers, and reach more readers out there on YouTube. That's all I got for you in this video. So until next time, read more books.